St. John's wort has always been associated with light, not the harsh kind, but the quiet kind that returns when darkness has lingered too long. Across centuries, this plant was turned to during times of emotional heaviness, inner fatigue, and seasonal transition, not to force happiness, not to suppress shadow, but to gently remind the body and mind of warmth, clarity, and renewal. Traditionally, St. John's wort was gathered when the sun was at its strongest, a symbol of illumination, a reminder that light is not something we chase, it is something we remember. At Flora Amora, we work with herbs that support emotional balance and nervous system resilience through intention, education, and respect for the body's natural intelligence. Our mission is to reconnect people with plant wisdom through slow practices and thoughtfully crafted blends that support clarity rather than overwhelm. If you feel called to explore herbs traditionally associated with emotional resilience and seasonal balance, you can visit floramora.org to explore our herbal library and offerings. St. John's wort has been used across Europe and many traditional systems as a plant of emotional fortification. In older cultures, emotional heaviness was not seen as a flaw. It was seen as a season, and seasons were not meant to be rushed through. They were meant to be supported. St. John's wort was respected as a plant that walks with the body through those seasons, not pulling it out prematurely, but helping it move forward when the time is right. One of the most powerful teachings of St. John's wort is that light does not erase darkness, it integrates it. This plant was traditionally associated with emotional clarity rather than emotional suppression, helping the mind feel less clouded, helping the nervous system feel steadier. This is why it has long been connected with emotional resilience, the ability to hold both shadow and strength at the same time. From a nervous system perspective, prolonged emotional stress can create a sense of internal dimness. Energy feels muted, motivation wanes. The body feels heavier than usual. St. John's wort has traditionally been used during these periods as a supportive companion, not to force energy back into the system, but to gently encourage forward movement. This forward movement is subtle, quiet, built over time. St. John's wort was often prepared as oils, teas, or infusions and used consistently rather than occasionally. Its strength lies in continuity. Like many traditional herbs, its wisdom unfolds slowly. It does not announce itself immediately. It works beneath the surface. This mirrors the way emotional healing often happens, gradually, in layers, with patience. Symbolically, St. John's wort represents the return of inner light after a period of contraction. Not sudden joy, but renewed clarity. Not constant optimism, but grounded resilience. This distinction is important because emotional well-being is not about eliminating difficult emotions. It is about having the capacity to move through them without losing oneself. St. John's wort has long been associated with this capacity. In folk traditions, this plant was sometimes carried, infused, or placed near living spaces as a symbol of protection and emotional fortification. Not protection from feelings, protection from overwhelm. A reminder that the nervous system needs support just as much as the mind does. In modern life, emotional fatigue often goes unnoticed. The body adapts, the mind compensates, the system keeps going. St. John's wort invites a different approach, one that honors emotional cycles instead of overriding them. It encourages the body to gently recalibrate rather than push through. At Flora Amora, We believe this is where plant wisdom becomes most relevant. Herbs like St. John's Wort remind us that healing is not about fixing what's broken. It's about supporting what's tired, creating space for light to return naturally, without force, without bypassing. If this plant resonates with you, you can explore more about St. John's Wort and other traditional herbs at floramora.org. Our herbal library is designed to be a grounded resource for learning and reconnection, a place to explore plant wisdom at your own pace. St. John's Wort reminds us that light is not something we wait for, it is something we allow back in. And often, the most powerful form of renewal begins not with sudden change, but with a quiet return to clarity, warmth, and inner resilience.